So what are these exercises? Number one is the deadlift. It's a great exercise, but it does depend on a number of factors. Do you have the range of movement in the hips to be able to perform it correctly? You can add a little bit more of a knee bend to get a bit more of a squat going, which is absolutely fine. So that can be helpful, but we need the range of movement of the hips. So as we go down, what we don't do is round the spine. Now, why is this such a great exercise? Well, although it's a dynamic exercise and a more complex exercise, we're going to be doing it every day anyway, because we've got to lift things and carry things around. So we need to be somewhat competent at it, no matter the range of movement that we have. Plus, the spine maintains its neutral posture and the torso is preventing movement. So as we come down into this position, we get to here, we've got the position of the torso that we want, we then lift. So the movement is done from the hips, using the glutes, not from the spine. So as we go down, that position is maintained throughout. So essentially, it's an isometric contraction, which is a static contraction, which is what the core is best at, of this. Because if I come down and I bend my spine, there is an energy leak. Because what's going to happen is I've not gone anywhere, but my spine has rounded. So as soon as then that weight starts to be lifted, there is the unnecessary additional stress to the spine, causing it a problem. So exercise number one is the deadlift. Exercise number two is the bird dog. When we come down into the bird dog, we're on all fours. So this is probably the least stress on the spine you could have, which is in this position, because the spine is essentially just hanging. There's not a great deal of stress on it. But what happens is as I lift an arm, you can feel muscles start to activate. As I lift a leg, again, you can feel muscles start to activate. As I alternate the legs, the activation changes sides. As I lift the other arm, activation switches sides. So as I'm switching sides, you get different activation, you get contraction, you get relaxation, but the spine maintains position. Obviously, the bird dog is doing both at the same time, and it's key that when you do this exercise, you don't extend the spine and flex the spine. So as you lift, you're not lifting like so. You are essentially pushing the heel and the hand, so the hand goes forward and the heel goes backwards. And that will maintain you the position of the spine whilst extending the hip, and then you get the activation of the muscle from one side to the other. If you want a little bit more activation, grab a dumbbell. Obviously you can have 2 dumbbells, but there is a little bit more activation through the arm, obviously it doesn't need to be 4 kilos, could be 1, 2, 3 kilos, could be heavier, who knows. But then you just get more activation in that static position or in that static posture. So exercise number 2 is the bird dog. Exercise number 3 is the plank. Plank is a very good exercise. Hold for a long period of time if necessary. Come down into this position, and then because we've got that long lever from the elbow to the toes, what we've got is the abdominals required to work and the erector spinae group required to work. Again, what we can do is we can lift limbs up, which is going to get that extra activation. So the plank, certainly with any limb lifting, is a step on from the bird dog, which is the limb lifting, because there's going to be, in this position, because there's more activation, there's more load on the spine, but if we lift a limb, there's only going to be more load going on the spine. And again, as we move each limb, that load is going to be transferred around, which is another important concept for the lower back. So what we need to be able to do is, again, maintain the position, hold the posture, hold it for a period of time first, so we've got the endurance and the strength, and then we can start lifting a limb, which is then going to build the stability as well. Exercise number 4 is the single leg hip thrust. Again, what we're trying to do here is isolate a glute, which again is transferring the load from one side to the other, but we're trying again to keep it away from the spine and onto the hips. So what we need to be able to do in this position is, first of all, come up. Now you could do this from the floor if you so wish. I'm just going to do it from a bench for this time. So what we do is we come into this position, feet and knees together. We can then hug the knee. Chin to chest, down we go, and up we come. Again, all the time, very similar to the deadlift. We're hinging from the hip, maintaining proper posture of the spine all the way through the movement, keeping the chin tucked to the chest, minimizing stress on the neck, but we're getting the glute activation. There will be erector spinae activation depending on the leg that's up or down, which is then again maintaining that proper posture, getting the activation, so we're starting to get much more effective exercises whilst also minimizing stress to the spine but building the core muscles as they were designed to be built. If you've liked this video, please do hit the like and the thanks button below. If you have a comment or a question about anything that's come up in this tutorial, hit that in the comment section below. And if you want to watch more videos like this, hit the subscribe and the bell icon, and you'll be notified when my next video is released.